Hey YouTube, I just wanted to share the loot runs that I do on reserve to make rubles. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, and it's going to be broken up into 3 different sections. The first section is going to be the map overview. The second section is going to be a gameplay video of the buildings I like to go to when I spawn on the east side of the map. And the third section is going to be a gameplay video of the buildings I like to go to when I spawn on the west side of the map. So we'll start with the east side, which is generally more profitable, especially if you have the keys. We are going to be going to Black Pawn and White Pawn. And you're going to need a full set of orb keys. Then we're going to head to Dome and we're going to loot these 2 buildings here, one of which requires a key, this building here. If we spawn on the west side of the map, we are going to go to White Knight, Garage, and Gas Station. We're going to need a key for White Knight. There's a locked door on the 2nd floor, and we're going to need a key for Garage, which also has a locked door. Once you're done with this side of the loot run, you're going to make your way to Dome and go to these buildings here and loot these buildings. The biggest problem with reserve is by far campers, specifically extract campers, or also known as rats. We need to minimize the risk of getting killed by an extract camper as much as possible, especially if we're spending money on keys to make rubles. And the way you do that is by going cliff descent. You are going to have Jaeger at level 2. You're going to have to buy the Red Rebel, equip it to your melee weapon slot, and have a paracord in your inventory somewhere. You also cannot have body armor on. You're going to need a chest rig, preferably one with armor attached to it, to extract on cliff descent. Hermetic door is risky and people camp the bunker. Armor train kind of takes too long, and D2 is heavily camped. If you don't have Red Rebel, you can take Manhole. Be aware though that if you're using the Manhole extract, you can't have a backpack equipped, so I would recommend taking a chest rig with at least 20 to 25 slots. If you don't want to take Manhole and you don't have Red Rebel and you still want to do this run and you've invested money in the keys, I would say take D2. And this loot run ends at Dome, so we would take Black King down to the bunker and go to the D2 extract. Now this room here is camped sometimes. The best thing you can do is have grenades. Flash grenades, stun grenades, frag grenades. Just spam them in this room and hope for the best. There's really not much you can do. You're going to have to make your way across this room to get to the D2 extract. Generally, I would wait for somebody to hit the power, or you can the power lever, or you can try to do it yourself. I like to wait. I don't care how good you are at playing reserve or EFT in general. There is going to come a point in time, if you play reserve frequently, that you're going to get extract camped. It's just the way the map is. And that's why we need to prioritize getting Red Rebel so we can use the safer extract as soon as possible. I would also prioritize getting the Black Pawn marked room key. Generally, you'll make your money back within 2 to 3 runs if you can safely extract. I will be leaving a list of the keys you need for these runs in the description below. And I'll also be leaving a picture of the keys you need in the gameplay part of this video when I arrive at a locked door. Something else I'd like to mention is I haven't played at all this wipe. The next wipe is at the end of December or early January, which is not very long away. I have been playing SBT, which is a single player mod for Escape from Tarkov, and that's what I'll be playing for the gameplay part of this video. Here's my gear, guys. I tried to keep this around what you would expect a PMC to be wearing if they've just unlocked Jaeger level 2. Here's my injector, all my injectors and key tool. We're not going to hit all these lock doors, but this is what I have in my key tool for this map. So it looks like we got a good spawn. The PMC spawns over here, so just be aware of that. I'm going to run straight to Black Pond. This is the first unlocked door we're gonna hit. And here's all the weapon mods, nice suppressors, take those obviously. You can loot the filing cabinets, I tend to skip those though. This room on the 4th floor of Black Pond is always unlocked. You don't need a key for it. Pretty trash loot up here. You can also loot the filing cabinets, but I tend to skip those. I like to go underground to get to the other side of Black Pond. Wood on the 1st floor just lets everybody know where you are. I hear somebody. I think they went bunker. This room right here, you can loot. You can actually see what's on the table. We're going to skip this because you need a key for it, and I didn't mention it in the first part of the video. And this is the marked room door. I'm going to skip that as well. I think somebody's behind me. We're just going to ignore him. You can loot that sports bag if you want as well, but I would close this door first. I like going out the back of Black Pond. I think it's a lot safer than going out from the side. Scan the area, make sure nobody's out here. You'll hear in that PMC or scav running around, so gotta be careful. Alright, so we're in White Pond now. Just heard a door close. I think somebody's in here. Can't tell what floor it's on. Just gonna ignore it. Nice. Is that a 60 rounder? Yes, it is. Once again, you can loot the filing cabinets. I tend to skip those though. SVD mag. Sounds like somebody's outside. Alright, pretty trash loot in here. Definitely PMCs or somebody's outside scabs or filing cabinets you can loot. Trying to get some info on anybody maybe around. I keep hearing people, but I'm not seeing them anywhere. Careful coming up on this cliff. Campers like to camp around this area, so just be aware. Pretty clear. Also this area as well. Rats like to stay in this area. Especially mid-wipe when most people have their Red Rebel. Pretty decent loot out of that safe. Weapon case here. Nice, Chris Victory. Sometimes there's a crate that spawns here you can loot. Going to the quick descent extract right now, just be careful. People like to camp this extract, not as often as D2, but still camped every once in a while. So that's pretty much the run, guys. Let's move on to the next part of the gameplay video. First thing thing you want to do is if you spawn at a train station is check to see if there's any scavs. Check to your left. There's spawns to your left and right. Looks pretty clear. There's spawns directly in front of us across that fence, so just be careful. And so we're in White Knight now, and we're going to go to the second floor. This is the door we unlock with all the weapon mod components. Try to be quick in this room. There's only two ways out of this second level. And be careful for these windows. When you get to the corner here, you can get shot in the head. So just try to stay low. Looks like there's nothing really worth taking in here. Move out of this room and head towards this table. Oh, there's a scav. You can also loot these filing cabinets. However, I think it's not worth the time. You want to try to get off of the second level as soon as possible. Just jump out the window here, crouch down, and land on the sandbags. We ignore these two rooms. They're both locked. Trying to wall bang me. It's like a scav. Gonna rush to the third floor of White Knight and check this room. Sports bag. Sometimes this room has two sports bags, so I would always check this room. This room is pretty nice. It has a lot of weapon mod components in it. However, you gotta watch the windows. You can get shot through the windows, so just be aware of that. I tend to skip the magazines and the weapon mods that aren't really worth too much. We have limited backpack space. Skip this food, adrenaline, we'll take that. And this is a risky play as well to go on this roof. You can be shot from over there, and you can be shot from down here when you go on the upper level towards the tower. So you just gotta make a judgment call on whether it's a good idea to loot this roof or not. Typically, I tend to close the door just so we can have an extra sound cue if somebody ends up running up here and trying to kill us. This is a way down on the first floor that you can jump down. If you have to use that exit, I would recommend popping some painkillers. So you can be sniped from the dome, be hit from over there. Really gotta manage your time well when you're on the roof like this. This hole leads to the second level of White Knight, which you can use to run away if you need to. This is super dangerous. You can get from dome. Just be careful up here. Once again, can't stress that enough. Use good judgment on whether it's safe to come up here or not. Get from back here. Really not much in this room. I would skip it. Also, PC here, you can loot. Really worth it. You can hit the filing cabinets if you want. I tend to skip them. As you can see, our backpack is somewhat filled and our rig is somewhat filled. So right now we're going to be min-maxing our backpack space. Watch these corners. Coming up on the garage lock door. Another risky run during this loot run, or another risky space, I mean, because there's only one way in and one way out, so you have to be quick in here. You don't want to get trapped and nade spammed while you're in here. I do recommend closing the door when you come in here. The extra sound cue. Check on top of these boxes for loot. That. Weapon case. Getting these crates for loot. They can spawn weapon mods. Rail. And there's a case back here. Check. If I hear somebody. Thought I saw somebody. I know I heard somebody. He's trying to get in the door. I think he's stuck. Let's help him. For some reason they're not shooting at me. Got him. Okay, good. Nice. Hopefully that was a PMC. One tip that I can tell you guys about farming reserve is you will find a ton of 545 BP ammo and PS ammo. So if you like running 545 AK-74U, you'll have no problem with ammo if you loot this map enough. So we'll go to that battery. That. See if this guy had anything on him. Oh, that was a PMC. nice ADAR too. Take that. But you have a bigger backpack and you can take more items. I would definitely recommend getting an injector case with the 3B injector, melatonin, and SJ6. You know, and if you can afford it, a mule. You're going to need it when you have the extra backpack space. Like to search these jackets for keys. Nothing worth it there. Check the rest of the room. Now, when you're running across this open field area that we're about to run across, you want to check dome real quick. If you have a scoped weapon, all the better. You can see if somebody's camping on dome. Check the cliff over there. And check to our left. Should be clear. Can't hear anybody. This is the manhole extract right there. If you don't have a backpack, you can extract there. And this is the riskiest part about the run, making our way to dome. Because we're open, we're in an open field, so. Watch out for campers up here as well. Could be in the building, in the trees. You just never know. Scan the area. I like to go through Black King. I don't like going on the cliff here because you're exposed to the north side of the map. So just go through Black King. Sometimes there's loot in here as well that you can scan for. We're going to unlock this door, go to the two safes. That in a diary. That's pretty good. Don't forget to look for a weapon case. One can spawn on this couch and on this floor here. I like to check this PC as well for a graphics card. Never know. I've found a couple here. That's not worth taking. Check in here. Sometimes green crate can spawn here. You can search for weapon mods. Be careful when going to this extract. Want to check for campers. Give a quick peek up here. As well as on the roof here. Sometimes they camp up there. And that's pretty much the run, guys. So